Oh, it's going away.
What the hell is that?
I don't know, but it's going away. Could be that thing where they like targeted weather or something.
Harp?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that.
No, me
Google it, see
neither.
if it's like a thing.
Looks like a lightsaber in the sky.
Oh! You guys didn't see that big like black thing just fly across? Okay.
No.
Oh, freezing.
Send this to Brandon.
Hey, what is up, guys? Tyler here. A year of not seeing you guys. I can't believe it's been a year since we last got together like this. It's amazing. So it's good to be back with you guys in 2019. I got a quick question for you. For those of you who were monitoring my Facebook and Twitter and the New Year's Eve video that I posted for you guys, maybe you could come back and rate on a 1 to 10 just how hammered I was in that video post. And can I just say, cringe to the next level. But hey, I was having a good time, drinking some champagne, and I wanted you guys to know how much I appreciated you, so that's what I did. But anyway, the new year is here, and of course there is not a shortage of strange things happening around the world. But today I'd like to start with some other strange occurrences that we've covered many times before, but that kind of fell to the wayside as we were dealing with other topics towards the end of last year. And those two topics that I want to feature today are the resurgence of the extremely enigmatic and unexplained lights and sounds emanating from within the earth and from above. And I'd like to start with what you guys saw in that opening video clip, which was captured out of Canada just a couple of days ago, with the simple title, December 2018, Edmonton, Canada, Strange Light. And as you guys saw, we have a very eerie occurrence happening here due to the many times that we've seen it before, where in a number or most of these cases, you will get, as you're seeing here, a single pillar of light sitting in the sky. It doesn't appear to be coming from above or likewise down below, and in other words, just sits there kind of static. These things are really strange. Now, there are variants of these that are called light pillars. It's a natural occurrence when there are many ice crystals in the air, and it can create thousands of these things. But when you just have a single one, and you have them appearing during the summertime even, they appear in all weather seasons, I definitely think there's something more to this. Now, it surely had the sources of this video spooked. They had no idea what it was. Now, when I first saw this, it immediately, as I said, it made me think of those other past cases where these things have been seen. Probably the most prominent in my memory was a video we posted last year where there was sort of a double occurrence where a couple of different strange things were happening at once, and it all surrounded these light beams that had appeared over Michigan. And I ask, what really just did happen over Michigan at that time? And that was the title of that particular video. So before we go any further, here's a small clip of that analysis I had done just to bring you back up to speed and to give you guys, especially if you're new, another case featuring these strange beams of light that seem to come from nowhere. A flame out of nowhere. Now, the United States Geological Survey reported that there was an equivalent of a magnitude 2.0 earthquake, along with NASA officials who later came out with a simple explanation of it being a meteoroid entering the Earth's atmosphere at about 8:08 p.m. And what we're seeing here, at least in it, does look like a meteor, or an object, okay? We've had space junk, and we've had other objects entering the atmosphere that look similar to what a meteor looks like. So I guess we'll just have to take NASA's word for it. But what was more strange to me were the emails that I started receiving from people around Michigan, one in particular, who sent me a couple of different photographs, who said at the same time that this happened, this was witnessed in the skies over Taylor, Michigan last night. So it occurred right at the exact time that this supposed meteor hit, but there's something very different here than what we're seeing in that video. Here, we are seeing one of these elongated, vertical, red beams of light reaching up from the ground up into the clouds. Now, when I first saw this, I said, I've seen these before, and sure enough, there are many other news stories from around the world where people have witnessed these strange, many times it'll just be one single vertical beam of light, almost like a laser, coming up or coming down from the heavens. Now, here is another one of the photographs that were sent to me, as well as posted to a file sharing, an image file sharing website called Imgur, or IMGUR. And this looks almost like a giant fireball appearing over the horizon here with, again, this beam of light. Now, I don't know if this is the same meteor. At first, I thought maybe this was the sun. But again, these all look to be taken around the same time, and it looks like, nighttime. And then the third photograph here it looks to be in some sort of residential neighborhood. We have people standing outside on a phone, looking down the street at something that's glowing down at the end of the street here. It almost looks like fire. It looks similar to what is being shown in this photograph here. And so when I saw that, I said, obviously there's something going on here. People are out on the phone watching it. And then I started hearing reports about how this so-called meteor that came out of the sky had actually landed in a residential area and actually set a truck on fire, someone's truck or garage or something like that. And then so I did some further research and saw that there had been an article posted about it, claiming that a meteor did not hit a garage in Taylor and catch it on fire. So apparently a fire had destroyed a pickup truck inside of a garage in the Metro Detroit community, where crews were called to the fire at about 8:24 p.m., so right around the same time of this so-called meteor coming down. And I'm guessing these are the pics of that fire that we're looking at here, along with this strange beam of light going up to the sky. But they felt the need to post a news story about it and how this had nothing to do with that. So I've got sources saying that this did have something to do with the object, and that it was followed by this mystery of vertical light reaching up to the sky. So basically, it appears that we have two different stories as to what happened here. First, we have what NASA, and I know you can't trust them as far as you can throw them most of the time, what they're saying is a meteor, okay? We have this footage here of obviously something streaking through the sky, but then we have these other photographs of a strange beam of light, vertical red beam of light, along with this fire that occurred. So my question is, what is this beam of light? What caused this fire? Does it have something to do with this meteor, alleged meteor? Was it a meteor at all? Or is this two separate things, the red beam of light and the meteor, that happened right about the same exact time? And so that's what I wanted to post today about. Something strange, it seems, happened over Michigan. I don't know what. I'm still trying to dig for details. But if any of you guys out there have seen something similar, don't hesitate to shoot me an email. Okay, so I know that video was a lot to take in, but in a nutshell, we were talking about two different events that had happened on the same night. The first one was your typical meteor event, where a meteor had been captured on a dash cam streaking through the sky. Then, shortly after, these long, red, glowing pillars of light, vertical, began appearing around the Michigan area, having said to have actually started a fire in a local's garage. And so, the question of these light pillars, whether they're some sort of beam energy weapons, which I know is a hot topic in the conspiracy or critical thinking movement, I don't know. But we've seen these pillars everywhere, not just down here on Earth, not just in the winter or the summer or the spring. We've seen them everywhere. We've seen them up in space, even, jetting by ever so quickly within the blink of an eye, such as you're seeing here, that was captured in a still frame, just a single frame. As this thing passed by, you can see the red, long beam coming up and the edge of the beam glowing bright red here, just dipping up from behind the Earth towards the space station. This is the Earth all but washed out in white. The space station's off here to the right. We have the curvature of the Earth and this long red beam of light that almost looks to be coming either from the Earth in the distance or coming from space and just shooting up from behind the Earth. But either way, very, very creepy. We've seen these things countless amount of times, and you really have to have an eagle eye to catch these beams of light, especially on the ISS camera, which sadly was one of the many jobs done by StreetCap 1, who passed last year. And I have to say, it's really strange starting 2019 without having my friend StreetCap doing his eagle-eyed work here, where he specifically monitored the ISS cameras for gems like this and would catch them very easily, send them over to me, and I just hope we can find someone to replace him and do, a great honor to the work that he did. So, R.I.P. StreetCap, thank you for findings like this. It's a sad new year on that front. So anyway, yeah, tell me what you guys think of these strange beams. Here we have yet another story of another similar red pulsing light seen by multiple witnesses over Malaysia back in 2014. According to the news source here, with people running out and watching the strange beam of light as it materialized, sat there for a good 3 to 4 hours before suddenly vanishing, never to be seen again. And stories like this go on and on. So now that we've briefly touched on the resurgence of these mystery beams of light, we've also had an even more powerful resurgence of the mystery booms, which I know many of you have been emailing about over the past few months because I haven't posted any new news on them. Well, it seems that they went silent for a little bit, or at least we thought. But as we began doing research through the past months, it became quickly apparent just how steadily this eerie phenomena continued, right into the couple of news stories I'm going to feature for you today. So the first of which, located in Grand Junction, Colorado, where once again, no indications of fireworks or foul play or earthquakes or weather phenomena, just lingering questions, as you will see here in this news report that they actually posted, courtesy of the KJCT8 ABC.
We're looking into an unexplained boom that happened near Delta last night.
The last time we checked, there were nearly 300 comments on the Delta message board from people who heard what they're describing as a loud boom last night. We know what you're thinking. Fireworks. It was New Year's Eve. People in Delta swearing that it was not fireworks. From things falling off the walls to people going outside to see what had happened, people now wondering what it could have been. We're wondering too. There's no indication that it was an earthquake or that there was any weather phenomena.
Some of the folks from Delta were sure taking some wild guesses on social media, though. This one from Colin, who says could have been a frost quake when the ground freezes rapidly. Our meteorologist has said no to that one. This one, bet you it was a meteorite, Sandy commented. And then this one, the big boom was an alien attack, Zane Ray adds. I don't know about that one. And Jim Gale with the most logical of all. I'm thinking it was 2019 making a grand entry. Jason was down in Delta today. He takes that story.
It's not uncommon to hear loud noises on New Year's Eve. But down in Delta,
this was actually a big boom and rattled my whole trailer.
something entirely different, and it's getting quite a bit of attention.
It almost sounded like somebody ran into my trailer with a vehicle.
Before midnight, Delta residents heard a noise that frankly can't be explained.
It wasn't really a boom, it wasn't really a crash, it just kind of like a big thud.
When we looked outside, we didn't see any fireworks.
It was so loud, Christy says her whole family ran to the windows to see what it was.
We did, however, jump up and look just to see, but didn't see anything.
I've heard stuff that sounds like gunshots sometimes going off, but nothing that loud.
The source of that boom, well, that's still up in the air.
Sonic boom? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell what it could have been.
We did some digging for you. It's not an earthquake or a frostquake. It wasn't a transformer blowing up, and we have no proof it was an alien invasion.
Some kind of explosive, like maybe transformer blowing up or something going off.
I don't think it was an earthquake or anything like that.
I've never heard anything that I could actually compare it to.
But one thing is for sure.
It didn't sound like a transformer. I don't know what really this was.
The whole ordeal is definitely strange.
Like I said, it was different.
Now, we're told police down in Delta were looking for the cause of the blast last night, but there's no word from any officials on what it could possibly be.
People as far as Montrose were commenting that they too felt that blast.
And here we have another news report, this time out of Cleveland, Ohio, describing a loud explosion in Lakewood's Birdtown neighborhood, which has baffled police, who began receiving calls just after 11 p.m. about a loud explosion in the southeast corner of the city near Lakewood's border with Cleveland. Officers searched the area but were unable to find the source of the explosion, and there were no reports of any damage or injuries in the area. So, once again, Cleveland, Ohio. And then when I see articles such as this, it makes me wonder if my theory that there may have been or continues to be a very large-scale construction effort happening deep underground, where they are drilling down there, they are building, and it's stretching around the world. We have this revelation of a so-called nuclear-powered mole that the Soviets had built to burrow beneath America and deliver atomic bombs underground. Now, I will post a link to this down below, but it basically goes into detail how the Soviets, back before and during the Cold War, had already begun their creation of this machine that would allow them to burrow deep down under our country. We're talking thousands of miles, and it definitely makes you wonder, some 30, 40 years later, just where we are or where they are with the creation of machines like this, and just how far they've come. And on the flip side, just how far have we come? Because I think there's a very good chance that a lot of these mystery rumblings happening underground, putting cracks in the roads and cracks down the middle of cornfields and things of that nature, could very well be coming from our own good old US of A. So we're going to keep an eye on it, but these booms have not stopped, and I can only foresee more reports of them coming, so stay tuned for that. And lastly today, before we go, a little bit of space news here. We have some new images, courtesy of the Juno mission, brought back, giving us a first look at the volcanic plumes coming out of Jupiter's moon, Io. Now, Io is the innermost of 4 Galilean moons of the planet Jupiter. It is the 4th largest moon and has the highest density of all the moons, and has the least amount of water of any known astronomical object in the solar system. So this thing is close, very close to Jupiter, covered in volcanoes, very unstable for a moon. And in these new images, well, it shows precisely that. The first of which, Io is here in the distance, entering an eclipse with an actual volcanic plume being seen illuminated beyond the terminator line. So that little white spot that you're seeing right at the terminator line is yet another massive volcanic plume. And it's all done through infrared images like this, which reveals some very high temperatures at the location of a volcanic eruption on Io. And so imagine you're looking down at the surface of Io, and each one of these bright spots could potentially be a volcanic eruption or liquid hot magma coming up out of the surface. These are all massive heat spots on the moon. So pretty crazy. I would not like to visit that moon. Way too unstable, and because of the never-ending volcanic activity, it's just kind of an ugly moon as well, so which also kind of makes it more off-putting to those wanting to visit. But pretty cool new images nonetheless. A lot of activity happening on these moons and planets out there. It never stops. Something is always happening. And that same goes for right here on Earth. The strangeness continues. And if you want more, then stay right here with Secure Team. You guys know that I'll have the newest in vetted UFO sightings, mysterious Earth happenings, and research into the unknowns of the space surrounding this planet. So if that strikes your fancy, stay tuned, subscribe, turn on notifications. I am Tyler with Secure Team. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you back in just a bit.